Come, let us practice tantric chanting to help us meditate like a Jedi. Let us practice bliss and letting go in such a manner that it feels as if the Force itself is giving us a kiss upon the top of our head. To do this, we require neither faith nor visualization, but merely the recitation of these 6 syllables. Lama, come to pay crown. 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 Let's practice the first set of awareness and letting go. That is meditating like a Jedi. Every time we feel air enter our nostrils, silently and mentally we could recite the verb watch. Every time we feel air exit our nostrils, silently and mentally we could recite the verb rest. Upon the tip of our left index finger, let us rest the great knuckle at the base of our right index finger, palms up in our lap. To keep track of our first set of 16 inhalations, we could rest the tip of our left thumb upon the first set of creases at the base of our left little finger. Each time we inhale, we could advance our right thumb upon the creases and tips of its 4 fingers, the little 1, 2, 3, 4, ring 1, 2, 3, 4, middle 1, 2, 3, 4, and index 1, 2, 3, 4. Having completed our first 16 inhalations, we can now advance the tip of our left thumb. Let us practice the first holocron of impermanence and interdependence. If you wish to chant along with me, it'll make much more sense if you can actually see the text. To do that, head over to my profile, find the link, and join me on the Tube app, if you wish. If you're already on the Tube app, stay put. Rather than indulge or controlling tendencies with all volleys of active visualization, emotion, magic, and belief, we could just recite these wise words in harmony with all breathing and allow our subconscious to do the heavy lifting. Let us therefore sidestep the rigidity that confuses metaphors or statements literal, and instead relax into the flexibilities that savors the chance explaining metaphors as similes. All circumstances or lots and the stresses appearing inward could be as impermanent and interdependent as if they could blissfully melt into rainbow light that could delightfully absorb into this body or form. Let us divide the silent and mental recitation of this 6-syllable synopsis between our inhalation and our exhalation. So as we breathe in, we can silently and mentally recite, all lots melt. And as we exhale, we can silently and mentally recite, into form. So this is not something we have to believe. This isn't something we have to visualize. By simply playing with these words, it has an effect on our neural pathways, reminding us that things are not nearly as static and separate and isolated as they can sometimes seem. Doing this enhances our wisdom of letting go. By the way, this is the first fold of the Buddha's Eightfold Path. All bodies are forms and their stressors sensual yet void could be as impermanent and interdependent as if they could blissfully melt into rainbow light that could delightfully absorb into this communication or speech. All forms melt into speech. All interpersonal speech and the stresses resounding yet void could be as impermanent and interdependent as if it could blissfully melt into rainbow light that could delightfully absorb into this mind. All speech melts into mind. In addition to bringing the mental into the path of impermanence and interdependence, we're going to make sense of the ancient Buddhist idea of emptiness. All lucid, perceiving, emoting, intending, thinking, recalling, and imagining minds and the stresses. Lucid yet void could be as impermanent and interdependent, as if they could blissfully melt into rainbow light that could delightfully absorb into our vast empty void. Like the illusions of the infinite azure sky on a bright and beautiful cloudless morn, which although could look tantalizing to the eye, could feel ungraspable to the hand. All minds melt into void. Let's practice the second set of the awareness and letting go, that is meditating like a Jedi. The seventh and eighth folds of the Buddha's Eightfold Path. Wherein we simply watch the play of mind, wherein we vulnerably, passively, viscerally, randomly, and fleetingly watch mind's antics of perception, emotion, intention, thoughts, memory, and imagination. And during our exhalation, we simply rest in mind's empty nature. So if you're at all confused by the chanting, we're going to take a break from chanting and just do some silent meditation. After about 5 minutes, when we return to the chanting, you may wish to join me on the tube app. We'll keep track of our first set of 16 inhalations by touching the tip of our left thumb to the first set of creases at the base of our left ring finger. As we relax into our exhalation, whatever anxiety or peace we might have noticed during our previous inhalation could feel as if they were melting into the simplicity of just emotion. This is the non-duality where we simply take a break from our exhausting habit of forever pushing and pulling. Having reached the halfway mark, let us take a moment to shift gears. It is Yoda Monday Eve. Let us meditate like a Jedi after about 30 seconds of housekeeping. This is the Dzogchen Semde Lama Jigme Gyatso of the Buddha Joy Meditation School. For more than 30 years, harnessed my autistic special interests as well as my ADHD hyperfocus to spend about 8 hours a day almost every day, studying, practicing, mastering, and reverse engineering the teachings and techniques of each school of meditation so that I can become your personal, nerdy, neurodivergent guide to nirvana. Welcome, my friends, to Meditate Like a Jedi, which is made possible due to the generosity of viewers just like you. Whoops, what's going on here? There we go. Let us practice the bliss and letting, let us practice bliss and letting go in such a manner that it could feel like the Force itself is giving us a hug. The easiest way to do this requires neither belief nor visualization, merely the verbal recitation of just 6 syllables, all in English. Lama blend, with this mind. I guess Lama really isn't English, it's Tibetan. Sorry about that. So, this is a wonderful way of playing with the third enlightenment factor, which is energy. Lama blend with this mind. Lama blend with this mind. Lama blend with this mind. This brings us to the third set of the awareness and letting go that is meditating like a Jedi. Not only does it comprise the 7th and 8th folds of the Buddha's Eightfold Path, but by playing with this technique, we begin to experience our choices and utterances and deeds flowing from the centered spontaneity, which is the effortless effort of the 6th fold of the Buddha's Eightfold Path. As we feel our chest swell with inhalation, silently and mentally we could recite the verb watch. As we feel our chest subtly sink as gently we exhale, we could silently and mentally recite the verb rest. Since we're shifting focus from the top of our head to our chest, we'll be adjusting the way we play with our hands. Now let's rest upon the tip of our left middle finger. Let's rest the great knuckle at the base of our right middle finger. Additionally, to keep track of our first set of 16 inhalations, we could rest the tip of our left thumb upon the first set of creases at the base of our left middle finger. Having counted 16 inhalations on our right hand, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. On our left hand, we can now advance that thumb. If you, like me, are prone to arthritis, you may wish to periodically adjust your legs. There is no shame in that, regardless of what the cranky people say. You know, the third enlightenment factor is joy. And if your teacher is really, really cranky and uptight, they probably aren't a good source of the wisdom of joy. Let's see. Well, let's tap button 9. This brings us to the second holocron. This one pertains to love and letting go. So let's begin by chanting an explanation of this 10-syllable mantra, and if you wish to chant along with me, it'll be easiest for you to join me on the Tube app by going to my profile and looking for a link, because that way you can see the text. If you are already on the Tube app, Mazel Tov. O Lama Tare, the swift and courageous, with Tutare you drive away all fears. Heroine with Ture, fulfilling all aims, but so may all be as beneficial as you. Let us bring the mental into the path of love. May all minds of all beings now be as joyfully enlightened as the mind of a real or imagined Buddha, symbolized by a bija, one syllable seed mantra tamatically drop. Let us divide the silent and mental recitation of the 6-syllable synopsis of that which we just chanted. We're going to divide that recitation of that synopsis between our inhalation and our exhalation. As we inhale, we're going to silently and mentally recite for all minds. And as we exhale, we're going to recite great wisdom. So here's the trick. It's not our job to believe or visualize, but by playing with the verbiage of a loving wish, it excites the neural pathways responsible for empathy. By excite, I guess I should say it exercises the neural pathways responsible for empathy. When I think about the foolish individuals who have seized the levers of power and are more concerned with profit than people or planet, I look at them and think, yeah, they could use some wisdom. I guess we all could. So now we're going to perform the actual mantra meditation. During the inhalation, we're going to silently and mentally recite the 6-syllable loving wish for all minds, great wisdom. During our exhalation, we're going to do 2 things. We're going to physically relax as best we can while striving to chant the 10-syllable mantra 4 times per breath for a total of 4 breaths. If this is your first rodeo, please give yourself permission to have a learning curve. Om tare du dare nuri sowa, Om tare du dare nuri sowa, Om tare du dare nuri sowa, Om tare du dare nuri sowa. Albert Einstein cautioned that any educated idiot can make things more complicated, more difficult, and more violent. However, it takes a lot of courage and a little bit of genius to move in the opposite direction. So even Albert Einstein acknowledged that there's power in simplicity and there's folly in needless complexity. So you'll always be able to find someone to say, oh yes, we have to do these visualizations and force yourself to feel certain motivations. And no, you don't. No, you don't. All you do is silently and mentally recite for all minds great wisdom, and then relax as you recite the mantra. Your central nervous system will do the heavy lifting for us. Om tare du dare nuri sowa, Om tare du dare nuri sowa, Om tare du dare nuri sowa, Om tare du dare nuri sowa. Om tare du dare nuri sowa, Om tare du dare nuri sowa, Om tare du dare nuri sowa, Om Tare Du Nani Nuri Sawa. 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 If we silently and mentally recite a loving wish, even though we feel cranky, that does not make us a hypocrite. It makes us human. What makes us mature and makes us grown-ups is the ability to reconcile that what we emote and what we our emotion and our volition, what we feel and what we will, can be different things at the same time. For instance, we might have a loved one who's gotten on our last nerve, and we might feel cranky. But if we saw them choking, regardless of what we felt, we would do the Heimlich. That wouldn't make us a hypocrite. That would make us a hero. So there's a difference between emotion and volition, what we feel and what we will. So our job in meditation is to notice what we feel and make peace with what we feel without going into story, without justifying it or minimizing it or rationalizing it or castigating it. Just to notice and relax. During contemplation, it's like we're working out. And we're working out the neural pathways right now responsible for empathy. May all relationships, communication, or speech of all beings known be as peacefully loving as a real or imagined Buddhist speech or communication symbolized by this 10-syllable mantra. For all speech, profound love. The same people who want to make meditation just as difficult and complicated as possible also talk about requiring years and years and years of strenuous practice. However, the Buddha said it could be done in a week. So I prefer quick and dirty to meticulous and eternal. As we breathe in, for all speech, profound love. As we relax into our exhalation, let's play with the mantra. Om Tare Du Tare Nuri Suwa. 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 Excuse me. May all bodies or forms of all beings now enjoy the beautiful, healthy, depicted in Buddhist statuary of the blissful body of a Devi or Yadama, an archetype of enlightenment such as Green Tara. For all forms, profound health. By the way, bringing the mental into the path of love is the second fold. Bringing the interpersonal into the path of love is the third fold. Bringing the physical into the path of love is the fourth fold of the Buddha's eightfold path. Om Dhani Dhani Nuri Sowa, 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 Om Dhani Dhani Nuri Sowa. Om Dhani Dhani Nuri Sowa, 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 Om Dhani Dhani Nuri Sowa. Welcome aboard to my pals on the Tube app. We're now going to bring the circumstantial into the path of love. May all circumstances or lots of all beings now have the safety, great fortune, or boon. As a Buddha's real or imagined paradise, Fairland or Vanti. For all lots, great fortune. Om Dhani Dhani Nuri Sowa, 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 Om Dhani Dhani Nuri Swaha, 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 Om Dhani Dhani Nuri Swaha. Let's practice this evening's fourth and final set of the awareness and letting go that is meditating like a Jedi. Which is, of course, the seventh and eighth fold of the Buddha's eightfold path. As we inhale, let us silently and mentally recite the verb watch as we watch the antics of mind. And as we exhale, let us silently and mentally recite the verb rest as we relax into mind's non-graspable nature. So this is the wild thing. We are born locked into our survival instincts. In the short term, that's great. In the long term, it's disastrous. And so, ideally, although we're born plugged into our tendencies to be rigid and fearful and superstitious and controlling and elitist and cryptic and competitive and cruel, as we mature, we become more and more the opposite. We become more and more flexible and loving and rational and laid back and egalitarian and lucid and cooperative and kind. But that's not always the case. Since the Neolithic Revolution, as a species, we've been really stuck in our survival mode. And because society has, since the Neolithic Revolution, has been profoundly competitive. Meditation is a great opportunity for us to stop resisting our own autonomic nervous system and begin cooperating with it. So we don't have to force ourselves to watch. We don't have to force ourselves to rest. By merely aligning our will with the process, we're letting our spinal cord do the heavy lifting, neurologically speaking. In our compassion may we long to free all beings from the toxic tyranny of effort. Hating, craving, and clinging, metaphorically known as the three mental poisons. In all pragmatism, may our liberation of all others be fueled by the three wish-fulfilling jewels of following the Buddha's example, applying his instructions, and cooperating with his students. Having sat for the better part of an hour, it might be refreshing to conversationally recite the 8-syllable synopsis of that which we just chanted, while simultaneously performing what I like to describe as geriatric squat thrusts. Oof, here we go, okay. May we free all, free thee, free jewels. May we free all, free thee, free jewels. May we free all, free jewels. So, let us conclude. Let us, what's it called? Seal this evening's practice by chanting the wishes for the preservation of the Buddha's teachings. May each meditation teacher truly understand the Buddha's teachings and practice master as well as teach him generously, lovingly, and wisely in the manner of centered spontaneity. May each meditation teacher spontaneously receive generous patrons, enthusiastic students, as well as devoted apprentices. And thus may many Dharma centers be successfully planted, nurtured, and flourish. You have taken your first step into a much larger world. If you feel that I have earned it, you could give this live stream a thumbs up. You could even help support this channel. In approximately 11 hours, I would very much like to return to lead tomorrow's first tantric chanting and effortless meditation. And if you are as geeky as me, may the Force be with you always.